What's going on, boxing fans? It's Julian Williams with The Distance. I'm here for another video for a video for today. This one is going to be Joan Guzman versus Ali Funeka. Matchup takes place March the 27th on HBO. This is a rematch from the November 28th bout, which was practically an obvious robbery from Ali Funeka, who probably won the fight maybe 9 rounds to 3. Some debate 10 rounds to 2 rounds. But overall, it was a good fight for Funeka and kind of a bad fight for Joan Guzman. Though I did think that at first Funeka was going to win the fight, but I did think at first that it would be a close contest because of the styles of both fighters. But it all changed in the last fight. But my initial thought coming from the last fight was, the thing that changed the overall bout was more than likely because Guzman was hurt. I believe he had a broken nose from like a headbutt in the fight, or it was a cut or something like that. But I know that Guzman was hurt in the first fight. I believe it was from a headbutt, and it changed the whole pace of the fight. But the first 2 rounds before Guzman was hurt, he won those rounds. He was winning those rounds. So I believe that being hurt pretty much changed the fight for him. But overall, this is going to be a good rematch. I think all eyes are going to be set on this rematch due to the fact of the obvious robbery in the first fight. Though there was rumors about Funeka fighting Rolando Reyes, which also could have been a good bout, I believe that this rematch is, I guess, a step in the right direction for boxing, somewhat, but at the same time, the man that should have won the IBF lightweight championship, didn't come out with the victory, or didn't come out with the belt. He's been fighting for this belt for quite a while. He fought Nate Campbell in 2009, Valentine's Day of 2009, came up short in a close outing. And he was close to getting it again against Joan Guzman, but it was an obvious robbery. It ended up being like a draw, but it was an obvious robbery. But anyway, on to the matchup. Joan Guzman in this fight. Joan Guzman is very elusive, pretty good hand speed, very technical, good overall movement in the ring. He can actually counter very well, slip under shots very well, and other than that, he has a very good chin, and you could tell in the last fight he was a very tough fighter. He's taken some hard shots, hard blows to the head throughout his career. In this fight against Ali Funeka, Joan Guzman needs to find a way to get inside of that jab, because we all know that Ali Funeka has a very long jab. If Joan Guzman could find a way to work around that jab and stay underneath the jab the whole entire fight and take the jab away from Funeka, then he has a very good chance of winning this fight. I do think that if Joan Guzman stays in close and takes the range away from Funeka, then it takes that jab away, and I think that Joan Guzman really needs to try to work on the inside and actually counter on the inside, get some combinations in, counter on the inside. I think that is I do believe that it's a good way for him to win the fight. Just because, if you take a long fighter like Funeka, who somewhat depends on that jab, and definitely depended on in the last fight, and can throw it from a lot of angles and throw it from across the ring. Basically, you want to stay in close. If Guzman could stay in close, slip under the shots, and counter with that right hook that he's very good at staying under and countering, then he could win this fight and win it pretty much from effective punching. I do believe that's his best bet of winning this fight. Staying elusive, staying underneath Funeka's shots, and pretty much coming from underneath the jab and countering with the right hook is pretty much Joan Guzman's best bet in this matchup. Ali Funeka in this fight definitely needs to keep Joan Guzman at the end of his jab. I do think, being the tall, rangy fighter that he is, 6'1", he does, with that very long reach, he does need to keep Guzman at the end of the jab. He needs to, pretty much every time Guzman tries to come in, he needs to keep that jab out there, keep that left arm out there. It's pretty much his best bet of winning the fight. Staying outside, throwing that double jab, even tripling the jab could pretty much win him the fight. If he, being the long, tall, rangy fighter that he is, he has to keep Guzman outside with the jab, keep him at the end of his shots. Funeka does have good punching power as well. So I do believe that he could set up, if he can get Guzman to get on the ropes or whatever, then he could possibly set him up with a right hand, as well. There are times that Guzman does get hit. He does tend to get hit at times. So I do think that he could set him up for the right hand and actually sneak in the right hand as well. But if you ask me, what do I think about this fight? Something tells me that Funeka could pull it off again. Can pull off this fight, but I do believe that this is going to be a closer fight. But at the same time, Joan Guzman has, he's gotten cut. He's been hurt in fights before. His face bruises and cuts up. I believe it did in the Humberto Soto fight. His face kind of showed the effects of the punches that he took. But in this fight, I don't think that Guzman's going to be fighting for survival, just like the last fight. But at the same time, I don't think that Funeka is going to be able to get that jab off as easily as he did in the previous encounter back in November 28th. So honestly, if I had to make a prediction for this fight, I'm going to go with Ali Funeka. Very close unanimous decision in this fight. I do think that this fight is going to be much tighter. I do think that we're probably going to see more work from Guzman in this fight because let's face it, in the last fight he was hurt. So, but I do think that Funeka will probably pull off in the later rounds, and probably get a very close unanimous decision victory. But anyway, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.